Today we're diving into an exciting transformation where we take a vintage vanity and make it into 2 tall, skinny nightstands. First, I took apart the vanity. I just looked for screws in the middle area, but then something was still holding it together. I hit it with a hammer a couple of times and it didn't budge. But when I removed another drawer, I found bolts coming inside the drawer right where the middle piece was secured. So I loosened the bolts from inside the drawer with a universal ratchet and was slowly able to loosen it. So here's what I was left with. Each nightstand had just a few holes to fill, but they also had these large cutouts in the corners that I'm not about to just paint over. So I filled them in. I've had this JB Weld epoxy putty for years. It's very similar to Quickwood, my very favorite heavy-duty wood filler. I used all of that stuff and needed to fill in some more holes, so I used Quickwood for the holes, and then I used plastic wood filler for the chipped veneer. Then I sanded it all smooth once dry. And as I sanded the filler, it progressed to sanding off the brush marks out of the paint because I don't like brush marks on my furniture. Sanding, though, was a very slow process. So I sprayed some QCS Stripwell stripper onto a nightstand, and then I was able to easily scrape off most of the paint with a carbide scraper. A few days later, I sanded the remaining paint smooth. I also sanded the inside of the drawer smooth and sanded the paint off of the sides of the drawers as well. Then I cleaned up the dust with a vacuum and tack cloth. Since these nightstands are for my pink-loving girls, I touched up the paint inside of the drawers with more pink paint in the color Peony by Heirloom Traditions Paint. Then I primed the nightstands with black primer to create an even base for the paint. And then I found scratches, spots of wood grain, and chips that needed to be filled in, so I filled those in, let it dry, and sanded the wood filler smooth the next day. Then I sprayed clear shellac on the nightstands to block potential bleed-through stains from ruining my final paint finish. And then guess what? I primed with the black primer again to make sure the wood filler wouldn't show through the paint. Finally, I painted the nightstands with this gorgeous green paint from Melange Paint called Jacob Swell. A couple of days later, I put new black knobs on the nightstands to finish off the look. Here's a reminder of what they looked like before. And here's what they look like now. I am so excited. I get to keep these nightstands. The color is perfect, and the tall, skinny shape of these nightstands are exactly what I need in their small bedroom. Would you go through all of that work to remove the brush marks like I did? Or do brush marks not bother you? Let me know in the comments. Are you confused and not sure where to start with your furniture makeover? Don't worry, I got your back. Click the link in my comment to download our free painting checklist so you can paint your furniture as if you hired a professional to do it.